Tired of using acetate sheets in your shaker cards? I've got something new to try. Let's get crafting. Recently, I got a couple of brand new to me Lindy's magical shakers in a couple of colors, along with some of the new Tim Holtz Vault collection. So I'm going to be using elements from each of these in 2 different cards, along with some watercolor cardstock. Now I'm going to begin by soaking my cardstock pretty thoroughly with just some distilled water. I like distilled water in my water bottles because it doesn't smell, but it doesn't matter what you use. I am going very light on my first application. This is the very first time that I'm ever using Lindy's Magicals, and I didn't really know what to expect. So better to underdo it than to overdo it, I thought. Now the first color I used was called Pinkies Up Pink, and this next one is called Have a Scone Heather. Now I really thought that they were going to be pink and purple, but as you can see, I'm going to add more water, and the Pinkies Up Pink has a very coral color. It's really beautiful, and there's a lot of shine to it, which really was surprising. I didn't want to be wasteful with the product. I knew that my shaker opening, this is going to be the background for the shaker, and I knew that was kind of going to be in the center, so I didn't want to cover the whole thing since it's going to get covered with white cardstock anyway. But I'm just getting the colors activated. You'll see I go back and forth. I have a fine mist sprayer and then my Tim Holtz sprayer, which can spray a little heavier than the fine mist one. But I'm going to go ahead and heat set this and see what our outcome is. Many of you have reached out to me and asked me to do something in my digital storefront, and today's the day that I am launching that product. So hang with me to the end so I can share it with you. Now I'm going to be using my Wow Heat Embossing tool, and I have it set on 1. There are 2 settings on this one. The first setting is for drying. The second setting is for melting. So this is a lower temperature, and you can see that as the cardstock dries, the cardstock actually flattens out. And she's kind of pretty, not gonna lie. Ooh, look at the shine. This is the new Tim Holtz Vault Collection World Traveler die set, and it has the cutout for the globe, and it's just a round circle that will cut the globe out if you want to cut out both pieces. I'm just going to use the circle. It was on my desk. I didn't have to go far to look for a circle die. Now, this is Accent Opaque 100-pound cardstock, and I'm just kind of lining that circle up so that it's in the top center of the card. I'm going to hold the circle down with some mint tape from scrapbook.com, and then I'm going to run it through my Spellbinders Platinum 6 die cutting machine. I'll be sure to keep the circle die cut in the packaging with the rest of the dies. I'll be able to use that at another time. Now I'm going to be using tulle. This is a sparkly tool that was really for a hair bow, and I have lots of it, so I'm going to go ahead and use this for my shaker element. And I'm just cutting a piece down that is slightly larger than my card panel of 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches. I am using scrapbook.com's double-sided tape to go ahead and pretty much fill up the back of this piece of cardstock. In retrospect, the best solution would have been to use a full sticky sheet on the back side and die cut right through it. That would have made the whole back sticky and would have probably saved me quite a bit of time. Now I've skipped ahead, and as you can see, the vast majority of the back of this cardstock is covered with some sort of double-sided tape. Now I'm just going to go ahead and remove the backing using my Spellbinders little tool. I love this tool. And then I'm going to go ahead and lay the tool down on the back and trim off any excess. Now on top of the tool, I am going to add another layer of double-sided tape. And I want to sandwich the tool in as well as I can because I want to keep my little shaker bits from going all over the place. Hey y'all, I'm Wendy from Village Card and Craft, and I want to thank you so much for choosing to spend your time with me. If you're finding value or enjoyment from my video, please consider giving it a thumbs up and hitting that subscribe button. I'd love to have you be a part of the Village Card and Craft community. With that complete, I am going back to my vault collection. This time I'm using Vault Boutique. And this particular die set has got 7 little tiny butterflies. And I thought that they would make a great shaker element. So I'm going to die cut 14 actually of the little butterflies on metallic silver cardstock. With the cardstock face down, I'm going to go ahead and add my little metallic butterflies face down as well. I want the metallic part to be showing on the outside, and although they will shake around, they won't have the opportunity to turn upside down. I want my shaker to be pretty full, so I'm going to be adding some iridescent sequins, some dark purple sequins, as well as some dark pink sequins. Remove the backing off of any additional tape that you may have, and then we're going to add another piece of tulle. Now I'm just guesstimating. Obviously I didn't measure, and I just want something larger than the cardstock so that I can seal in all of my shaker elements. And I'm going to give it a good firm rub. It is a little sticky, and that's okay. And I'm just kind of testing it. I've got one that's stuck, but it doesn't really matter. And then I'm going to go ahead and remove any excess tulle from the cardstock. What they say is absolutely true. Hindsight is 20/20. I absolutely should have used a full sheet of double-sided tape, cut it twice on 2 different pieces of white cardstock to sandwich in those shaker elements. Would have been so much easier than the tape, but live and learn. Now I'm going to switch over to working on my decorations, but this is the plan. I'm going to mount that onto our Lindy's Magical backdrop. For my decoration, I am going back to the Lindy's Magicals. I really wanted to try to get more of that beautiful shiny background. So I'm going to go ahead and just make a small panel because I'm going to do some die cutting out of this one. And I'm not doing anything differently except for I'm going a little heavier on the purple this time than I did on the lighter pinky coral color. But they are beautiful. I absolutely love the shine. Would I get more? Probably. But I think I may need to play with a little bit more. Maybe using a paintbrush to wet down my cardstock would have made a difference. I'm not sure. I'll have to play. If you've used them before and you know some sort of trick, let me know in the comments below. I'm going to do some die cutting. Now this is the scrapbook.com Butterflies 1 die set, and I like it because it's got 3 intricate butterflies, but it also has the matching outline. So if you wanted to do the outline in a different color so that it pops through the openings of the butterfly, it really makes a striking look. In terms of the tools that I use, you'll see that I do use a magic mat, and I absolutely, positively, 100% recommend a scrapbook.com magic mat. It replaces the bottom plate of your die cutting machine, and they have them for many, many different machines and sizes. I want to thank all of those viewers who reached out to me and asked me for a specific sentiment set. And I am very proud to announce that it is finally done. I've worked really hard on it, and I have 10 full pages of Christian sentiments that cover just about every aspect of life that you can imagine, from encouragement to weddings, new babies, baptisms, communion, and of course, sympathy. So 10 pages, very value priced for the amount of time and effort that I put into them. I hope you agree. Please join me over on PayHit for my digital store. I'll link it in the description below. and thank you for your support. Using Barely Art's Precision Craft Glue, I'm going to go ahead and glue my top panel down to my bottom panel that was done with Lindy's Magicals. Now, I have to say that my little silicone bottle stopper has been a game changer for me. I never liked the pin in the top of the bottle, but I love the precision tip and I love this glue. It is my absolute favorite. But that silicone topper, awesome. It has made all the difference in the world, and I just have to use a little rubber band to hold it down so it doesn't get in my way when I'm gluing product together. But I'm just going to go ahead and turn that upside down, line it up, give it a good press because I really want this to hold. Remember, it's going through 2 sides of tulle and 2 pieces of cardstock that are being held together, so I really wanted a good thick coating of glue. And of course, use my acrylic block. Now I'm going to go ahead and put down 2 small pieces of double-sided tape just on one side because I'm going to be adding that pink ribbon. And, you know, I don't use ribbon very often, but I really wanted to break up that white, and this was a perfect chance to use it. Now I'm just going to be using my pink ribbon down the one side, which is the left side of the card, and then I'm going to go ahead and give that double-sided tape a firm press, and that will hold the ribbon in place. I forgot to mention that prior to putting on the ribbon, I did take all of the dried layers in one shot and I cut them down on my guillotine paper trimmer. That was certainly strong enough to cut through all those layers. Then I adhered the ribbon, and then now I am gluing that to my card base. I wanted to have a little bit of definition between the panel and the card base. Time to finish up this card. Okay, so I have die cut out of pink cardstock. Happy birthday, scripted sentiment. This is in 2 pieces. Unfortunately, this product is no longer available, but I definitely recommend searching your stash for something that you can use. You could also stamp this and it would be beautiful. I subscribe to the aesthetic of 3s, odd numbers, and setting things up in a sort of triangular shape. So my sentiments going in the lower left. Once again, I'm using that Barely Arts Precision Craft Glue. And let's figure out, where do I want to put this? Yep, I'm going to offset it just a little bit, fight with it, and okay, there we go. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and add just 2 of the butterflies, and you'll see that I've created that triangle. One in the top facing to the left, and then one on the left bottom facing up to the top right. So I kind of get that triangular look for a balanced card. Much more pleasing to the eye. And look at the shakety shake. Now this tool shaker card also makes for a magical Mother's Day card. And in this example, I did not do a background. I simply used a pink cardstock underneath with the smaller circle, as well as some flowers that I had pulled apart and added some gemstones and a little hint of the doily from the Vault Collection Boutique. And there they are. They're both gorgeous. Check out some other fabulous videos that I've selected just for you. Until next time, I'll see you real soon.